You see, this issue itself is not new, because it was December 1971 that the People's Republic of China started to claim sovereignty over these islands for the first time. So we've had this issue for the past 41 years, and why is it so hot now? It's basically because China has increased its capabilities. In the past, they assured Japan that they would not touch upon the issue, but because of the rise in their capacities, their capabilities, now they are touching upon. That's the basic factor that's causing the row. In China, certainly, the famous patriotic education, which is not only about education in classrooms, but also socialization process in the wide sense of the term, including what sort of TV programs they present. And as you know, the anti-Japanese war, or dramas and films and things like that, is very popular in China. And it has been policy for the past 20 years to emphasize this patriotism, which the Chinese Communist Party calls the main melody. They want this propaganda machinery to make nationalism or patriotism the main melody in society. So this has had a big impact on people's attitude towards Japan. And particularly since last year, September, when this latest row over the Senkakus burst out, there have been a very ferocious anti-Japanese campaign in the media, and that has had a very big impact, I would say. On the Japanese side, education about China, we learn a lot about the history of China. I think more in detail than any other country in the world. We have to learn in world history, beginning from the ancient times. And people have a great love of Chinese culture, Chinese classic novels and poems and things like that. And it is said that we should teach more about the modern ages when we wage war against China. I think that's true, but it's not that there's nothing in our textbooks. In fact, many Chinese university students have a lot of interest in Japanese textbooks because of the issues that we had in the past about textbooks. But they come to Japan, they look into our textbooks, and the conclusion's always the same. It's not that bad. But it's true that we should spend more time on the modern ages, because we begin our history study from the ancient times, and usually there's not much time left for the modern ages. So it's true, the Japanese should teach more about the modern war ages to the kids, and in China they should teach more history about the post-war period. So both should be done, I think. The new administration, Xi Jinping administration, or Xi Jinping in particular, has been placing a lot of emphasis on nationalism. He's come up with this phrase, the China Dream, of achieving the revival of the great Chinese nation. But this phrase of the great revival of the Chinese nation has been there for some time now. It began in the days of Jiang Zemin. So Jiang Zemin, Hu Jintao, they all emphasize nationalism, there's no doubt about that. But Xi Jinping seems to be putting it a bit more to the fore, as it were. So I don't see a great difference in their Japan policy. The worst case scenario is the Chinese will keep on sending their patrol boats, government patrol boats, to the vicinity of the Senkaku Islands. The provocation continues, and if there is to be an accident, a collision of some sort between the Chinese ships and the Japanese ships, that could escalate very badly, and it could even lead to some hostilities. and I'm very worried about that. So the Chinese should stop sending the vessels. It's not going to lead them anywhere. It's not going to solve the issue at all.